Good day, guys. This is Kris Gethin, and this is the Knowledge and Mileage podcast. May seem a little bit slow today. I've just come back from a lot of travel. Well, not a lot of travel, is only over the course of a week. But boy, did I go through some headaches with delays, cancellations, problems getting back into the US, you name it, I had it. But good job that I'm a tough M-A-T-H-E-R. Should I say that out loud? Should I spell it out? No. I'm a good boy. Anyways, I want to start off by congratulating B. Dakota Bowers. B. Dakota Bowers, you are the winner of the Feridrox, the Cage Muscle Unique exclusive t-shirt, and the Shields of Strength necklace, and the signed picture by myself. You may want to throw out the ladder if you don't want it. But anyway, congratulations. You have probably been contacted and emailed by now. However, I wanted to give you a shout out on the podcast and give you a heads up. Congratulations. I'd love to know what you think of the Feridrox. Give us your honest, unbiased review, please. Let me know if you want some more competitions like this. I don't mind giving out some freebies, some prize packages, some supplements, and all that jazz. And speaking of which, today I'm going to talk about a particular supplement. I didn't want to make this podcast all about supplements and be a promotional platform in order to sell more supplements. However, I am asked a lot about this particular supplement, which happens to be our superhero product, and that is a pre-workout. There's so much confusion, and I think it's because the pre-workout category is one of the biggest SKUs, one of the biggest sellers out there, and it's, if you look at the analytics, it's a rapidly growing SKU. However, it's being overcrowded with a lot of conflicting products, a lot of products that do what they're supposed to do, but more so a lot of products that don't do what they're supposed to do. So I'm going to try to go through various ingredients, break down the myths, and give you a clear-cut way on how you should choose your supplements, your pre-workout supplements, and what you should be looking for in a pre-workout supplement. Okay, so I'll go through some distinguishing features, but firstly, what do you want from your workouts, whether it be in the gym, whether it be in a marathon, whether it be in a Spartan event, whether it be in a game of tennis? What is it that you are trying to accomplish from every single one of your workouts? Then it'll help you understand and choose the right pre-workout supplement specifically for you. So I'm guessing you'd want to have some enthusiasm before you go into your workout. You don't want to be dragging ass. You want to have energy, physical energy, and mental focus. Of course, you want to have strength if you're going in for bodybuilding purposes, powerlifting purposes, explosiveness if you're taking part in, say, CrossFit or mixed martial art and MMA sport, boxing. You want to have that explosiveness. You want to have endurance if you're participating in your triathlons, like I said, your tennis, your marathons, anything that is requiring extensive time under exercise, under stress. Versatility, you want intensity. You want to have that blood pump, that blood flow to the brain, that vasodilation around your entire body. So now we've got through some of the pieces of that puzzle that you need to create in order for you to evolve from every single workout. What are the side effects of working out? Side effects, well, usually whilst you're training, you're not putting on muscle, so it's muscle wastage. It's not muscle hypertrophy, it's muscle atrophy. We actually lose muscle whilst we're training. We're using a lot of amino acids that are going to drain from the muscle. Going through an oxidative stress. We're going through free radical damage. We're utilizing a lot of antioxidants through exercise. Of course, we get that muscle ache as well, that lactic acid buildup. We can go through a lethargy, especially halfway through or towards the end of the workout, and it's normally around this time you aren't getting the pump as you did when you walked into the free weights area or into the machines. You're suffering from some type of weakness during your workout. You can possibly feel dehydration, loss of focus. You know, when you compare it to the intensity and the focus that you had when you started the first several exercises or the first, I don't know, 20 miles, but then you lose that focus. Your mind starts wandering. You could possibly get a headache from that dehydration. So there's a lot of side effects that you can possibly encounter when you're working out. And obviously you want to counteract that, number one, through your nutrition, through your rest and recovery, through your sleep, and obviously through supplementation. Now, people who say, well, you don't need supplements, you just want to eat correctly, bull effing shit. You have no idea what you're talking about if you are training hard, because I've just mentioned of all the effects, the side effects that you go through. So you need concentrated amounts of certain foods, certain amino acids, certain minerals, certain antioxidants, electrolytes, you name it, you're going to be utilizing a lot of that, more than that average person that's sat on the couch watching another rerun of Days of Their Lives. Not me. So what ingredients should you be looking for to get you there? Let's go through the list. Okay, so B vitamins. B vitamins are used in various supplements, various energy drinks such as Red Bull, and for a good reason. You know, they can provide you with your energy. So, you know, B6, B12, and niacin in the form of niacinamide. So there are a lot of companies out there that will use niacin in its standardized form. The reason being is because this is what gives you that tingling feeling, that rush, that thrushy sort of feeling, which is very similar to beta-alanine, but it's not beta-alanine. So that's why I suggest that you use a niacinamide. So that is what we use in our product in Pre-Caged. Again, I don't want to sound like a sales marketing gimmick. However, if you find another product out there that has these ingredients, you're absolutely free to go ahead. I'm giving you my personal opinion through many years of doing this and through many years of testing. So I used to, if you followed any of my video series or read my books, you'll see that I started having products tested. I was quite shocked to find out a lot of the leading brands were cutting corners. They were cut short, but there were some brands that none of you have heard of that were doing it right, because the ones that are doing it right are investing in the product. The bigger selling brands that everybody's heard of were generally investing in marketing. So niacinamide is the version that I suggest, because that is not going to give you that tingling feeling. However, it is going to give you that form of B vitamin that is essential for your workouts, getting that energy. So niacin, B6, B12. Now, the pumping complex that helps through the strength and the endurance category within a pre-workout, I suggest, is pure citrulline. Pure citrulline, not the citrulline malate that is bonded to a malic acid. Generally, the ones that are used in studies that people refer to as a citrulline malate that comes from Spain, that is exceptionally expensive, but the majority of people or brands actually use a different version, a much, much cheaper version, okay, of that malic acid. However, they will reference the studies that is used in that the Spanish reports. So this is what is called, quote unquote, borrowed science. So I suggest that you use the pure citrulline. If you're using a citrulline that's bonded with a malic acid, let's say it's a 1-to-1 ratio, you're only getting 50% of pure citrulline, which of course is much more expensive. However, it's that pure citrulline that is going to give you that pump. That is what we want. It's more beneficial than arginine. It's a precursor that does not get destroyed through oral consumption, such as an arginine would. Okay, so pure citrulline. And quercetin, like you should be going for the patented version of quercetin. So that is called a QU 995. That's the trademark. And this will significantly improve your endurance and cardiovascular health. It can improve power output, and it has done in time trials among trained cyclists, and it's improved treadmill time trial amongst untrained adults. So there's so many studies that back up via peer-reviewed human clinical trials that you can look online, and it's the same with the pure citrulline. That's really going to help with your blood vasodilation at this same time to ensure that you have the carrier of nutrients to your muscles along with your oxygen, and not only getting that pump for that purpose, but to give you a better mind-muscle connection. If you can connect with the muscle that much more efficiently, you're going to have that adaptation of growth much more efficiently. Okay, so let's go to branched-chain amino acids. Branched-chain amino acids provide muscle protein synthesis. When you're training, as I said, you utilize a lot of amino acids, and your branched-chain amino acids that your body cannot produce, these are your essential aminos, you should be supplementing during this time to ensure muscle protein synthesis. Now, we use a fermented kind in pre-caged. All the BCAAs, or the majority of the BCAAs on the market, are found from, extracted from human hair, bird feathers, animal fur. You've probably heard me talk about this before. It's very well known within the supplement industry. However, it's not very well known by the supplement consumer, hence why I always repeat myself on this part. The way they extract it is through very harsh chemicals and high temperature heat. I do not want any amino acids of mine being treated with chemicals or heat, especially knowing the sources that they're coming from. I do not want an inflammatory response in my body. I want to improve the bioavailability of the supplements and the foods that I take in, hence why I always eat my kimchi, my kefir, I take my probiotics, I have my sauerkraut, etc. So I didn't want any different in pre-cage. So that's why we go that one step further with the resources, with the investment, and the time it takes to ferment these branched-chain amino acids that we extract from a plant source, in this case a sunflower lecithin. I do not believe in soy lecithin at all, because in the US here it's generally genetically modified, or don't want any of the GMO crap. And leucine is a very high anabolic activator, so you should be going very, very high on the leucine at this particular time. Now, carnosine is a patented form of beta-alanine. So beta-alanine is a great ingredient that you'll find in a lot of supplements. Now, the studies have proven that 3.2 grams per day is a sweet spot for taking beta-alanine. So I like to split up my dosages personally. That's why I have 1.6 grams in my pre-workout. During my workout, I'll take another 1.6 grams, because if I take 3.2 in one go, that really does give me that anxious sort of tingly feeling, like ants under the skin, that I don't really like. But that is just one of the effects that shows that it is actually working. However, it can be a little bit over-encompassing. I don't like too much of that, so that's why I split up the dosages. But carnosine is a fantastic ingredient that has been studied. It's got over 55 studies that back up the pure, not just the purity, but the performance behind this product that I absolutely love. I love it because I feel like I don't have the lactic acid burn that I generally would without it, and I feel that my prolonged endurance of that workout is much, much better. However, we use not the standard general beta-alanine, we will use the patented version of the beta-alanine. If you were to take a generic, you'd have to probably take about 6 or 8 dosages throughout the day, because it goes out of your system extremely fast. However, when you take the patented form of this carnosine, it's a little bit more sustained, not like the SR, the slow release, but it is a little bit more sustained, and I prefer to take this a little bit earlier in the day anyway. So, the slow release has no property to me or value. So the patented version is called carnosine. And as I said, if you want to take a version of beta-alanine, then it's the patented version that's been backed up with those 55 studies for performance, for purity, for health purposes. Okay, and then beta power is a patented form of betaine. Betaine that you'll find in a lot of products. It's great for the nitrate value that you may find from beetroot extract. But betaine, I just think, is another awesome ingredient to prolong that endurance, that effect that you gain when you train specifically with a lot of volume in a gym. I'm a volume trainer. I don't generally do your normal 6 to 8 repetitions. I'm normally up there at a minimum of 15 all the way up to 50. Sometimes I do 100 rep sets and it just works for me. However, I need to ensure that not only my brain is primed for that, but my body is primed for it. Generally, your brain will give out before your body does because it is so frigging painful. So you want to do everything that you can. And when I'm talking about these ingredients, guys, I'm not talking about a 20% gain here. I'm talking about 3 to 5%. 3 to 5%. But that adds up every single day. And if I can get a 3 to 5% advantage through these very high intense volumizing workouts, then I'll take it. However, I want to ensure that what I'm putting in my body provides me with that. I'm not just pissing my money away because I work frigging hard for it, and I'm not going to have a supplement company or food company or anyone for that matter take that away from me. I want to control my environment. Now, when you are in the gym, obviously you utilize a lot of creatine. Trained individual use a lot more creatine than the average individual. Creatine, another amino acid that comes from red meat, is the most studied and researched amino acid in the world, bar none. Now, I could be referring to creatine monohydrate in this case. However, the standard creatine monohydrate that the majority of people take, I personally cannot. I just can't. The particle sizes are way too big for me. If you put creatine monohydrate in some water, in some solution, and then stir it, and then leave it, you'll notice it all sits at the bottom. So if the solubility isn't there, then all of a sudden, I particularly, personally, have problems with the permeability, the osmolality of that, and I cannot absorb it through my sensitive little tummy. The particle sizes are just too big, and I get nauseous, I get the farts, I've had bouts of diarrhea. Yeah, I have it to the extreme. So if you've, again, followed any of my videos, you'll know forever and a day, I've been taking creatine HCl. Now, I don't just take the creatine HCl that is found in pre-caged. I take the patented creatine HCl, the patented version. Again, because this is backed up with the studies and research for that performance. Now, what will this do? As a very simple analogy, let's say you're in the gym under the bench and you get 12 repetitions out. Now, this will help feed and fuel your ATP, your adenosine triphosphate energy. So you could possibly get an extra repetition out of that bench press, of that bicep curl, of that squat. Now that one single rep is what adds up to evolution, week after week, month after month, year after year. It's that one rep. The first, say, 11, 10 reps are a waste of time. That just gets you to where you need to go. I use this analogy all the time. You could go to Everest Base Camp 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times. It does not mean that you're able to put the flag at the top of the summit and say that you conquered that mountain. It's that last rep, the last couple of reps that you really struggle on. Those are the ones that's going to get you the bicep peak that you want. That's going to get you that upper chest that pokes out from your clavicles. That's going to get you that quad sweep, that hamstring hang. That is what separates the people that stand on Mr. Olympia. Of course, genetic has a part of it. And the other people that never turn pro. It all comes from the neck up, being mentally focused and ready to go through that pain. But if you've got the supplements and ingredients that will help propel you there, providing that your diet's on point, providing that you're hydrated, providing that you're eating all your meals and you're taking your rest and you're meditating, you're keeping your cortisol levels down, it will assist you to get there. Now, when you take the patented creatine HCl, or when I take it, I do not get the stomach upset. I do not get the fluid retention under my skin. So whilst I'm dieting down, which I am right now for some shoots, I can take it all the way up to shoot day and through shoot day. If anything, I find it helps me pump up a little bit better because it volumizes my cell. Because whenever I do, a photo shoot, if I don't have pre-caged with me, I take my citrulline and I take my creatine HCl and I'm good. Okay. So speaking of hydration, our body is made up of about 70 to 80% fluid, dependent on that individual. You need to ensure that you are hydrated throughout your workout, not just throughout your workout, but before your workout. I recommend, dependent on the climate, at least a gallon. I've got a gallon jug right next to me, actually. And I am thirsty. Can you hold on while I take a gulp? Yeah? Keep yourself occupied. Good job I was talking about hydration because I reminded myself. Thank you for that, Kris. So, when I was living in India, hydration was a big component for me because I'm a sweater. I sweat a lot, and living in a humid country and living in Mumbai, I was sweating a lot. And when I was working out, drinking the amount of fluid that I had to, I always felt bloated, felt a little bit heavy, felt a little bit nauseous. So when I started drinking coconut water, this is going back in 2010, I found that I didn't have to quench my thirst through volume as much. And this is all because of the electrolytes, the key electrolytes that are found in coconut water. It's the closest thing to blood plasma. So that is why I suggest to people to drink coconut water. Drink coconut water, baby. You will not have to deal with hydrational issues, which doesn't just come from volume, but it comes from electrolyte balance. So you can drink coconut water. You can go to the supermarket in this day and age, thankfully, and purchase coconut water. However, there are going to be naturally occurring sugars that you're going to have to deal with, that you have to get off your lazy ass and burn off. That is the reason why we worked on formulating a coconut water powder so you didn't have to take in all the calories. So that's why I put that in the pre-caged formula. And it's, I drink Hydrocharge all day, which is coconut water as well. So you can actually have the key electrolytes without having the extra calories. But if you don't mind having the extra calories, guys, go out and buy some coconut water if you prefer. Now, I wasn't as keen with the coconut water in India, but I did prefer the one in Bali. So that's why I use the Balinese. So all the Indians out there, please don't take offense from me using the Balinese coconut water from the tender coconut waters, tender coconuts there. Now, we build up a lot of free radical damage, oxidative stress when we're in the gym. And there are some experts out there that say you shouldn't take antioxidants. I don't buy into that. I want cell rejuvenation all day, every day. I want to look after my skin, my eyes, my hair. I want to feel young, look young, and help counteract that oxidative stress that we're exposed to, whether it be from the air conditioning, from the fumes, from sun, from working out especially. So I take my antioxidants in all the time, namely through the Spectra Auric blend that you'll find like in Hydrocharge, which I'm drinking now, and I added it within pre-caged on top of that. I understand as we're dieting down, we can't all be taking in our fruits where there's going to be excess fructose, sugars, coming into our system again that we're going to have to get off our lazy ass and burn off. So that's why I suggest you do take antioxidants if you're on a diet and you don't want to eat all those fruits. That's why I put it in pre-caged. Again, it's a Spectra Total Auric blend. That gives you everything from the green coffee extract, the green tea extract, broccoli sprouts, tomato concentrate, broccoli concentrate, acai, did I say that right? Yeah, elderberry, turmeric, oregano, blueberry, chokeberry, raspberry, sweet cherry, you name it, I have it in that Spectra Total Auric blend. That is in pre-caged as well. But if you don't want the pre-caged, as I said, please do. Supplement with antioxidants. Now that pretty much takes care of our physicality. Now what about the mental aspect? When you're going into the gym, you shouldn't feel just anxious because you're wired and you just took a massive caffeine hit. Anything over 300 megs is going to give you a blood constricting effect. So if you are going to take caffeine, I suggest something below 300. Okay? Caffeine is great. It's, again, a very highly researched substance. You do want to ensure that you do not have a caffeine that could be possibly exposed to mold toxins. A lot of the caffeines out there, especially the synthetic kind, is only around 60% pure. So what is the rest of it? Impurities that can possibly be made up of mold toxins, etc. Okay, so I always prefer to go for an organically tested caffeine whenever possible. So you should have caffeine, sure, but I suggest an organic caffeine. Is it more expensive? Of course it is. Food is generally more expensive, but we use a pure calf organic caffeine. And this is a green bean coffee bean. Now, there's a couple of reasons behind this. Number one, it gives you a much different energy release. It is much more sustained over a period of time. So I deal with anxiety on the best of days. When I take caffeine in that sort of form through energy drinks or pre-workouts, it can be a little bit too much for me. So that's why I suggest an organic, slow-release caffeine that does not give you that anxious feeling and does not give you a crash. I put that in my intra-workout as well, because 40 minutes later, I am trying to extend that mental focus. I want to ensure the focus that I have within a gym isn't anxious, because then you lose focus. It's funny, people will take caffeine all the time, these energy drinks. It doesn't actually help with focus. It can actually get you wired and tired. All right. Further from that, the taurine, the acetyl L-tyrosine, the L-tyrosine are all great ingredients that I feel really helps stimulate that mental focus. I was actually using these ingredients when I started doing a lot of my public speaking, because I wanted to be on point, I wanted to be focused, I didn't want to be distracted. I started using them probably in 2009, when I wanted to be focused in front of the camera as well, because I was nervous. I wanted to stay focused so I could remember my script, my words, etc., etc. And that's when I was like, okay, this crap really, really works. Going back to the pure calf caffeine, so I do get that from India, from the organic farms, and it's that green coffee bean we insist is only picked between, I think it's September and November, in those months. Because that's when you can ensure the ripeness of that bean, where you get the highest purity, and we want to, provide and donate sustainability to that plantation, so it doesn't get over harvested. And not only that, the guys who actually provide us with pure calf, they really do look after the individuals. So I was with the fellas over at Pure Calf over the weekend, and they're amazing humans, and they actually help the farmers out there. They're generally in India, if you've spent any time there isn't a lot of money at all. There's a lot of poverty. So they really look after the farmers there. And if somebody needs a medical treatment, or somebody needs to go to a dentist and he hasn't been to a dentist in his life and he's just dealing with pain, they'll actually help with those bills and take care of that for them, which doesn't cost much to us at all. Hardly anything. But it's absolutely everything to them. So there's various reasons why I completely support this ingredient, from a health standpoint, philanthropy, sustainability, you name it. When we go and source these ingredients from other countries that are not mass produced, there's a story behind them, not only just providing you with the performance and the purity and the health benefits, but something a little bit behind the doors that makes us feel good that we're contributing as well. So so I understand that it is very confusing when you're looking at not just pre-workouts but any products. You can look at all the ingredients and supplements on the shelves, and they possibly can all provide a benefit, but they can possibly all kill you if you take them all at once. So you have to look at things logically, and know where are the ingredients sourced from. Is it coming from a patented source that I know is backed up with studies and research and has been formulated and created in a manufacturing plant that is temperature controlled, that is hygienic, etc., doesn't have impurities, doesn't have banned substances? Well, you need to look a little bit deeper than just the amount, but you need to look at the amount as well. Are the ingredients amounts in this product efficacious, that have been backed up to be effective as they have been in research and studies? So while I'm talking about pre-caged here, guys, I really honestly do apologize for the scoop being so freaking big. It's like as big as a protein scoop. It's 31.9 grams, the largest scoop in the industry, but that is the only way that we can fit in all these patented and fermented and organic ingredients in there. There's no other way. If you are picking up a pre-workout scoop and it's like 10 grams or 15 grams or whatever, how on earth, and some of them are 5 grams, I shit you not, how on earth are you supposed to fit in any of these ingredients and them to be effective? You're just not. Very quick. A lot of pre-workouts brands will actually put a long list of supplements, or could be hidden behind a proprietary blend, but then you look at the amounts, it's like a trace element, but it looks impressive on the label when they put all these ingredients and these big words on the back. It's like, wow, this has got everything. I'm afraid not. It doesn't have everything. That's why the scoop size is so small, and you have to use maybe 3 or 4 scoops to get an efficacious dose of each one of these ingredients. Now, I feel bad saying this because I honestly feel like I'm trying to sell you something, but I'm honestly not. I just want you to go out there, research, look at all the studies yourself, and look at the amounts of an ingredient that should be utilized to have an effective performance or output or strength, whatever you're looking for. You have to have that efficacious dose. And I feel bad always repeating myself and referring to pre-cage, but I'm just telling you what I have selfishly put together myself with access to the best formulator in the world. And I say this, pre-caged is the cheapest supplement in the world, pre-workout supplement. It is the cheapest pre-workout supplement. The reason being, look at all these ingredients. Find me another product out there that has these ingredients, or some of the ingredients, whatever, that charges the same price. You're not going to find it. If anything, we should be 4 times the price, but we'd never charge that. We wouldn't sell a single product. We'd be way, way too expensive to be competitive on the market. So we just eat up that margin. As I've told people before, success isn't found in financial gain. It isn't found in materialistic possession. It's found in purpose. So if I'm able to deliver with a purpose, I've found my success, and that is exactly what I found. Lastly, I want to encourage you to look for products that are naturally flavored and naturally colored, so you don't have to take in any excess of artificial crap or ACEs or dyes or red 40s that are going to cause another inflammatory response. We are in the health industry. Our supplements should not be taken away from our health. It should be promoting it. As we exercise for our health, we train for our health. Supplements should supplement our health. So stay away from the artificial crap. I don't like to take the artificial flavors and sugars. Speaking of sugars, so we have stevia as the majority sweetener of our products. However, I'll highlight this, we have sucralose in there as well. Do I like sucralose? No, I don't. But we have a minuscule amount of sucralose within here. Believe me, we're still working on it. We're still working on eradicating it altogether. We will not stop until we've eradicated it. But we only have a tiny, tiny amount of sucralose in there, only to disguise the bitterness of the stevia. That is the only reason, because when you're naturally flavoring a product that has that amount of ingredients, it's very, very hard to flavor when you're naturally flavoring. So when we're sweetening with the stevia on top of that, it does give you a bitter taste. So that's the only reason that we use a sucralose in there. And believe me, it's a tiny amount. And we tested we test a lot of the leading products, but one of the leading products had the equivalent of 20 or 25. It's 20 or 25 packets of Splenda in a pre-workout and 30 in that company's post-workout. There's over 50 right there. That's unbelievable. Anyway, so I think that's pretty much it. There's a few other things that I could talk about, such as the Prop 65 Act that basically tests for every heavy metal contaminant, and we know heavy metals can be cancerogenic, they can cause birth defects, they can cause mental disorders, thyroid problems. So I do suggest that you contact the company that you purchase your product from to ensure that they adhere to the Prop 65 Act, so you know what you're putting in your body is going to help you with your performance, your purity, the purity of it, and your health. Don't just put your hands together and hope it is working for you and it has your best interest at heart. And they should be investing in your performance and not just solely into marketing and their pockets. So I'm just asking you to be aware, because you guys have been very, very loyal to me, and I just want to provide that loyalty and transparency back, because I'm a guy who hits the gym. I'm the guy that wants to ensure that the time in the gym is efficient, and I'm doing everything that I possibly can to fill in any void to improve year after year. Anyway, do me a favor. I'm going to put a post up maybe later or tomorrow or whatever. Just comment. Subscribe, but please do comment and let me know what subject matters would you like me to go into detail on the Knowledge and Mileage podcast, guys. Let me know. Anyway, I'm off to go hit my cardio. It's a beautiful day outside. I hope you've enjoyed listening. Thank you ever so much for your loyalty. This is the Knowledge and Mileage podcast. I'm Kris Gethin, and I am out.